Up, circle down, circle down, square. Up, circle down, circle down, square. Up, circle down, circle down, square. Up, circle down, circle down, square.
Yeah. Already I'm knowing what you ain't used to. How you set the standards from shit that you used to stoop to. Avoiding all the damage and types that you used to shoot to. Got no room for baggage, little baby, I'm in a coat too. College educated, so nah, I won't lecture. Self-sabotaging, I won't let you. Figuring it out, no problem, I won't test you. We got plenty time, no pressure. I don't even need much, baby, I make do. Never speaking on nothing, I can't relate.
That is Twan Jackson of Overall 99. We really appreciate you, Twan. And as y'all see right here on the screen, we have a moral deficiency. It is a term that used to describe people who were thought to have a moral defect rather than a lack of intelligence. Now, Zell, how does that in your theory that you are claiming right now, how does that even quantify? How does that even make sense? How does this even apply to the CEO of United Healthcare, Mr. I think his name, John Thomas? How does it apply to this man? How does it apply to the man that Luigi Mangione, hope I say his name right? The man that he ended up shooting. How does this apply? How is that the language that you are using apply to Brian Thompson and Luigi Mangione? And I can tell you, it's a simple thing. Because are we lacking intelligence? Are people actually dumber? No, we're not dumber. So we have this thing that's now in us, in a culture who has been influxed with a lot of information real fast. You might say, because that's also one reason I'm bringing this. We are flooded with information, unneeded information that won't help us in the least bit, information that don't profit us nothing. It does nothing for us. We see Drake and Kendrick information about lawsuits of a bunch of information that may or may not be true between Jay-Z and celebrities and a bunch of different things, a bunch of laws that we ain't really processed because our brains are not functioning to process a lot of information at such high speeds for most of us. Of course, if you got like a super level high IQ, you probably could function at that level. But a lot of us can't function. We can't do said things. Like right now, I got headphones on. I'm so used to having headphones on. I wanted to listen to Twan Jackson's song. But do we have a moral deficiency? A lack of empathy? Because in this case, Luigi is seen as a hero. Mr. Brian Thompson is seen as the villain. The villain ends. The hero ends the villain in this case. The hero goes to jail. The hero shows his face in a weird way and end up getting arrested after flirting with a woman and shows his face and then gets caught at a random McDonald's. It's a bunch of conspiracy theories and all that, but this ain't that video. And y'all can tell me some of y'all conspiracy theories. Do y'all believe it was a setup? Do you believe he's just stupid and got caught? Do you believe it was a super assassin and all that thing? You can let me know in the comments. And while you're doing that, like and subscribe. Shout out to the queen herself, Miss Aisha. So today I just want to talk about moral deficiency. Why are we celebrating a man that ended another man? Because we view that other man as a villain who we see has ended or caused so much harm through his healthcare plan. And even there's apparently even videos of him doing things or saying policy, because he does not directly be like, oh, Mary Sue today we're gonna end her. We don't like that name. There's a certain rules and regulations that you have to apply. And each worker who does that is somebody in a room in an office who sits there and clicks the button. And they check when the process come through, what the doctor needs, and then they go and look on the other screen and sees what is that we have here. Does this fall in line with the policy that our company applies that ends up helping, but at the most making us money, because that's essentially his job, right? His job is to make the company's money. He's not a medical professional. I would hope. I don't know him. I don't know their processes, but I would hope he would give reasonable takes and consult with healthcare professionals, consult with doctors, consult even, and the most important, consult with patients. Which I doubt the third one, because they don't care about that. But at least consult with them to make this. Aisha said he is indirectly responsible for the money and got paid handsomely for it. Exactly. And that's my point. He does create policy in which that person on the computer checks and tells you yes or no. If that person don't say no, even in the most extreme cases, that person is liable to be fired because he or she cost the company money. Therefore, he is seen as the bad guy. Now, does he ever see these people? Is it natural ill intent to see your grandmother pass from something she couldn't afford and she was under United Healthcare? No. But his job is to certain people. He's a CEO, meaning he has somebody above him, usually. This case, I know when I was looking up a little bit, I ain't fully looking into it because this video is not about that. But I did see there's other CEOs, meaning he is not the owner of said healthcare. He's not one of the top people. He is the top people, but he's the person who's in charge of making other people money. And unfortunately, we live in a culture in which making other people money and making myself money is the goal. If I make you a lot of money, I get paid handsomely. Others might suffer for it because we have to be, in that case, logical. It's just business, right? It's still horrible. It's a horrible practice. As a humane person, it's probably not great, I will admit. But his job is not to be a moral person. They didn't hire him to be the most moral person. So in the end, that moral deficiency led to another moral deficiency. Not that you're not intelligent. You see, do y'all see where I'm finally going with this? Not that you're not intelligent. Even with us. Not that we're not intelligent. But we see said thing happen. And we like, oh, he got his. Just like he sees said thing, oh, I got my money. We don't get the money. Not that I'm justifying this murder, but I'm just saying the mindset. That's the whole thing about it. We're in a moral deficiency culture, because we're going to get to that in like 3 minutes. This video not going to be that long. At the most 15 minutes, I hope. So like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, all of that. But the question is always, are we in a moral deficiency culture? And yes, we are. It's all about money. It's all about how we feel. It's all about power. It's a bunch of different things that have caused our moral, which also led to my beginning point. We were flooded with so much internet information that we start having feelings and intent to people we don't know. We stop caring a little bit. We get a little less sensitive. We think about this man as the person who possibly ruined somebody's family's year and not even think about his family. Again, not justifying what he did, not saying it's good, but we don't think about his family. So overall, if you don't care about my family, and I did everything I did for my family, should I care about your family? And then it gets into this like rabbit hole. It's always been like that. It's just more exposed now. That is also true. We are more exposed to it. We see it more and more in society, right? And that's my thing. We are flooded with this information. Now we are flooded. Used to, they could get away with this, right? They can get away with doing things, but now it's, people tell their stories, and now, like I said, we are flooded with this information until we feel a little less for everybody. Especially since it's like I said, it's a moral compass between it. So people, when we used to like, oh, I don't want to see people perish. Now we kind of like, you kind of deserved it. And it is a moral deficiency. The more we're flooded, the more information we receive, the less we feel bad for people. the less we feel bad for anybody that's not ours, because we don't know what they did. They could be committing crimes. We start seeing the side of business we never seen before. We start hearing the stories that we never heard. And all the information could cause a lot of, eh, you know what I mean? And once you do that, do we justify it? Do we justify this thought? That's what I'm saying. Do we just like justify not caring? Like it has nothing to do with me. Like that could have been. We don't think it could have been me. It just it has nothing to do with me. That dude deserved it. And that's the thing I have now, right? That's the thing I'm going through in my mind right now. Because when I heard it, I didn't really. I'm like, he must have screwed him over. My company, we going to United Health. I'm like, is it that bad? Is the insurance that bad? That's my first thought. It's not, oh, prayers to the family. Is it that bad? And I have to be honest with you. I had to come to that conclusion too. Is my insurance? I'm about to get that bad because guess what? It has to do with me. It has to do with my coworkers, whom I like. Shout out to y'all. It has to do with these things, and now I have to contemplate: is my what are my morals? Because it's easy just for me to just sit here and say, "Oh yeah, I don't want to see people hurt," but then when it happens, I don't care. You see, you see your people and friends and family members when they go through something. You're like, I don't know if I want to call, and then sometimes you call and you just like they're going through a lot. So you can try to consider all the emotions and all the things we have to do. I know they're getting 100 calls. Does my voice help or does my voice bother them? And them things I actually think about. Does my voice help? Am I that close to that person? Even if I was at one point, am I still that close that my voice helps? And do I really have the words or thought of them that much that my words can mean something? Even if at one time it would have? Do I cry over CEO and a possible child? I don't know if he had children or wife or family member who lost a brother, an uncle, or you know what I'm saying? A father, a husband. I don't know, a boyfriend. Even if he did the same to somebody else, do I not have empathy for both? Am I right or wrong? It's an interesting concept. And this thing kind of led me down that path. I just want to talk about it real quick. I'm doing a video every day, so like and subscribe, hit that notification bell and all that. It just got me curious. I'm just wondering. I don't know y'all thoughts. Do y'all feel the same thing too? Did you feel kind of bad that you didn't care? If you didn't care, did you kind of feel weird if you did care? Did you care and then like, oh, he lost his family, then read what he did and then kind of didn't care no more? And then does that lead to other people? Would that lead if you saw your father doing things, but he's still your dad, and you saw how people rooted for the man that did it to him? Would you become a little more heartless? Was he always gonna be heartless? Is this just an excuse? There's just little things in my head. I'm going down a rabbit hole. But I do want to say I appreciate y'all. I appreciate Miss Morgan. Don't forget to like and subscribe, hit that notification bell. All this stuff. Like I said, I just want to do a quick video, put my thoughts out there. You know, the fence that I always sitting watching. I'm watching on my fence. It's interesting. But it does all. Did anyone cry when it off themselves? Did they? That's the one thing I always do want to do. Your first thought was, damn, but life moves on. That's true. But you asked that, and it's also that's the thing though. Did someone though? We all just like get the natural feeling that we didn't like that dude, so we rooted for against him, and it doesn't feel like anybody cried. But did anyone cry? Some innocent child or something he might have had? I don't know. Now, if you wasn't his family member and you rooted for Hitler after he did what he did. Nah, I'm just saying. Like, listen, you ain't got a horse in this race. Daddy, uncle. If he treated you nice, you gonna be that way. But again, Hitler did read a crazy book from a crazy man who in America, from America, by the way, who kind of did it. But that is the first thought. I don't know him. And I also think that's a reason of all the flooded information we got. We get flooded with so much that, like, why do I care about Mr. Thompson? Like, it's people that I know personally have just passed. And I did, but it wasn't to that extent of like Norman. I'm like, some of my people's family just passed. Do I have a prayer for Mr. Thompson? Especially after hearing what he did. That's a moral dilemma I wonder do we go through, especially with all this influx of information. It's kind of hard too, right? It's kind of hard to like think about everyone and like, oh, he had children. Like, everybody got kids. Like, how much can I really put on myself? You know what I'm saying? So maybe it was always meant to be like this, because most of the time, like I said, when we was younger, I'm before like I'm a little older, so I'm a little bit before the internet when I was like a teenager. Now, when I hit about 15, the internet became big for in the hood at least. I don't know what it was outside. All I know was in TC, Turner Chapel. If it ain't in TC, I don't know what happened, dog. We didn't have all that stuff. So once I hit 15, I started learning stuff. But I used to feel a lot more, right? Because everybody I knew passed, I knew. Like, if I didn't know them, I didn't know them, right? And if you see something in the news, you really couldn't put a face, you couldn't put a tear to them, you couldn't put what they did. It wasn't really nothing to them, so it's just names on a paper. But now it's like more face, things they did, family members crying. You see all that stuff now. It put life in a weird, it's put life in a strange position. I'm not saying right or wrong. I'm just curious. And I want to know y'all thoughts too. I do. I appreciate y'all, by the way. One more time, like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. And as y'all know, go watch the whole video to get my full thoughts if you come in late. I do appreciate y'all, but I don't have my Zell Theory thing on here. It's a dope intro. So we'll end it with Twan Jackson again. I appreciate y'all one more time. Thank you. Peace.
Up, circle down, circle down, square. Up, circle down, circle down, square.
Yeah. Already I'm knowing what you ain't used to. How you set the standards from shit that you used to stoop to. Avoiding all the damage and types that you used to shoot to. Got no roof for baggage, little baby, I'm in a coat too. College educated, so nah, I won't lecture. Self-sabotaging, I won't let you. Figuring it out, no problem, I won't test you. We got plenty time, no pressure.